Welcome all 2,191 of the members of the Geeky fam and everybody else. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do down below because I have an interesting video for you regarding that menace, Spider-Man, that y'all love so much. Let's get right into it and how possibly Spider-Man 4 ties into Madam Web, Venom, and much, much more. Let's get into it. A well-known scooper who goes by the name Daniel RPK has some quite interesting tidbits, you could say, regarding the fourth installment of Sony's Spider-Man. According to his sources, Spider-Man 4 will include Sony properties and could possibly merge to enter the MCU. I do not believe this will be a merge, as Sony would not just give up their billion-dollar franchise to anybody who merely makes a contract with them. More than likely, they'll probably do the exact same thing they did, where they gave Marvel a 6-part contract that gave them Civil War, Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home, Infinity War, and Endgame. Also, as long as they keep Spider-Man, it's guaranteed money in their pockets, as Marvel literally has to come to them for the most expensive and most well-known superhero on Earth. So first off, let's go with what we know. Venom 2 and No Way Home literally showed us Eddie and Venom get transported to the MCU where they were just enjoying a couple drinks at a bar. And then, guess what happened? They were teleported away, but not before they left a little symbiote behind in the MCU. And guess where that symbiote's going? More than likely it's on its way to find a host to get itself to Peter Parker, or better known as that guy. There have also been behind the scene photos of Eddie from Venom 3 where we saw him in the same exact Hawaiian shirt, implying there has not been a time skip. The set photo / videos was recorded in Los Mateos in Colombia. Now, for the rumored plot, it goes as follows. Eddie and Venom get a glimpse of Peter Parker, aka that menace Spider-Man, killing Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3's Venom, aka Brock Jr. Venom would then go on to persuade Eddie to kidnap the 10-year-old Peter of whatever universe they land in, and that's assuming it's in their own universe, to change their fate of possible death due to Peter Parker. However, they would end up forming a bond and defend the future wall crawler from Toxin, Venom's grandson, who actually has a goal to rid the Earth of all evil, which for some reason includes Venom and Spider-Man. Super weird, but it is what it is. Now, another film that will play a part in the development of this as well and give our Peter Parker more development is none other than the upcoming Madam Web. Madam Web has Cassandra Webb and her spider totems defending a pregnant Mary Parker, who's actually played by Emma Roberts, who is being hunted by a time-traveling Spider-Man variant better known as Ezekiel Sims. Madam Web actually takes place 10 years before Venom 1 in the early 2000s, or at least that's what we know so far. Now it seems the Sony characters are all trying to make sure that this Peter Parker grows up to be Spider-Man, but what exactly is the reason for it? Could we be setting up that rumored Spider-Geddon and possibly have more loot hinted at the end of Venom 3 that is supposed to have a large post-credit scene? Or could it be setting us up that in the end, the reason Peter's origin wasn't explored in the MCU was because to save him, Venom somehow had to get him back into the MCU and gave him to Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben already knew about Madam Web and also had great responsibility to get him to her, if that makes sense. Obviously, one of the plot holes that you guys are going to say is that Madam Web finds out Peter is essentially Spider-Man in Homecoming. But what if Aunt May's memory was actually wiped to forget how Peter got there? It would have some huge tie-ins, and it would also literally hit the multiverse and time travel thing on the head. Because what happens if in Madam Web, somehow Uncle Ben or Adam Scott saves Cassandra Webb, and therefore she lets him in on their little secret, or actually entrusts him to watch Peter Parker? And what if it's not actually his aunt and his uncle? How crazy would that be? Because if you watch that Madam Web trailer, you see there's a part where there's a baby being held by what looks almost like Peter Parker with the symbiote on him, or Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker. At least that's what it looks like. And a dead mom in the water where obviously the baby was saved. Could Emma Roberts' Mary Parker actually die in this universe, and somehow Eddie's symbiote gets on to said or whatever you want to say. It could be Ezekiel Sims, it could be Peter Parker, it could be Tobey Maguire, it could be whoever, who then delivers that baby to Uncle Ben. How mind-blowing would that be? I don't know. That's just my 2 thoughts. What do you think? Let me know down below. And as always, hope y'all have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.